and inspired while I bring many people from around the world and share their journeys here. So, as you guys know, we always come with another special guest, and today our special guest's name is Miss GUlsana Mansha. She is a very wonderful educationist, and I have been waiting for a very long time for this interview. So, today is finally the opportunity. So, let's chit chat with her and let's get to know more about her. So, first of all, Assalamu alaikum, Miss GUlsana. How are you doing today?
Walaikum assalam, Hamza. I'm doing great. Thank you so very much for having me on your podcast. It's an honor. And I know it had been delaying for quite some time, but finally we made it. It's never too
Finally,
late.
fine. Yes, it's never too late. Thank you so much
It's
for
never too
joining. It's really an honor to host you. So, before we start off with our questions, I would like to request you to please give your short introduction so that the viewers who have no idea about you, they could get to know a little info about you.
All right. Of course, the name everybody knows. It's already written on the screen. Um, by profession, an educationist, and 30 years of experience in the field of education. Currently working at Rehan School System as the education trainings consultant, and I'm heading the academics with Western Australian Education Network. Simultaneously, I'm doing some media work and on different TV channels, universities, I do conduct talks around the ethics and etiquettes of life. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for giving your short intro. So, moving towards your personal journey. So, Ms. Gulsana, how would you describe your entire career in one word, and why would you give your career that one word?
Challenge. Challenge is one word because from day one, I had been a self directed learner and I wanted to do everything in my life on my own. So, when you're trying to do things on your own, I was grooming myself, I was working on my skills, I was professionally working, I was studying. So, whatever I was doing, it was all on my own. So, I think there's very little help that I've taken from anybody around myself. So, when you try to run a one man show, of course, it becomes a challenge. But yes, then wherever I needed help, I asked for it. But most of the time, yes, it was a challenge, nothing less than a challenge.
All right, that's really inspiring to know. Thank you so much for giving your insightful answer. So, what is one defining moment which happened in your career that shaped the Miss Gulsana who you are today?
Okay, what I'm today, right? Okay, it was actually 3 years back when one of my friends, I knew I was a speaker, I knew I could, I was very confident. But yeah, I had never exposed myself to the media, electronic media and social media both. And definitely I had not I think it was 3 years back when I decided to accept the offer from one of the TV channels where Discover Pakistan, and that was the moment when I was like I basically I took off from that moment, and from there onwards, of course, I was continuously on the social media, on the electronic media, and then when I grew my connections, as Rehan Allah says, that your connections are very important. Of course, I increased my the number of people whom I would like to interact, whom I would like to meet, and from there I found my ways towards Western Australian my career, and of course this career where Rehan School System I'm standing right now. So it was all the blessings of social media and electronic media and my connectivity to the rest of the community in Lahore, in Karachi, and in Islamabad, which basically shaped my standing where I am today.
That's so great to know. Thank you so much for giving your explained answer on how you became the Gulsana we know today. So, now, what is that one thing which motivates you to keep on going when you think that you should quit and quit everything at the same time? What's that one thing that keeps you grinding and pushing to the goal which you want to be?
My work. my work is the only grinding force, not only a grinding force, but my driving force as well. So whenever I feel down, whenever I'm feeling bad, or sometimes there comes moments where you just don't feel like talking to anybody, but then I keep myself engaged in my work. I wish at that time a recording comes in, or some work from my institutions are the only driving force that keep me going. And then of course, I keep looking at my work on social media, and that really inspires me. That I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't just lay back and say I can't do it. No, I have to do it, and I have to even improve on myself. And improvement doesn't come when you stop working, or when you're continuously looking towards your goals and you're working towards your targets. It's only then that you just keep improving yourself. So every time I watch myself, I see, oh, this went wrong. So next time when I'm doing it, I'm going to improve myself on that. So I'm my analyst kind of a person. I'm a critique myself, actually.
That's so great to know. So, by what you're saying, is that means that you're the person who stays motivated by finding the mistakes from your work and by
Yes,
saying to yourself that I will not do these mistakes again so that my work could be improved.
exactly, exactly. You got me right.
Thank you so much. So now I would like to ask you who played the biggest role in your personal development? Who motivated? Who had the biggest role in your personal development?
Actually, my father, Hamza, was somebody who gave me the freedom, actually, who gave me the freedom in spite of the fact that I was a daughter, I was a female, and none of my siblings were given that kind of a freedom which my father. Actually, maybe he had the confidence on me that wherever I'll go, whatever I'll do, I'll keep my limits, I'll keep my boundaries, and I'll never cross or I'll never break his trust. So that was one thing. My father is the force behind me, who had been always giving me permissions, even if I wanted to sing. He even taught me singing in religious and cultural country like Pakistan, where singing or these kind of activities are not really welcomed by the audience. But my father always gave me that freedom. And when I grew up after my father, of course, one of my friends who basically introduced me to discover Pakistan, he kept me motivating. You can do it. You can do this. You can do that. So these are the two people. And yeah, I'm very lucky, Hamza, that when I started my career as a teacher, I got very good mentors, and like Mrs. Salamat, she's somebody who basically gave me the confidence and always trusted me, and she always encouraged me. Basically, she has played a very important role. Miss Majbi Yusuf, Mrs. Salamat. These are two people. And then the friend I was talking about is definitely Ali Abbas. Ali Abbas has really encouraged me always, to be very honest. Yes, he was somebody in the recent years. And now, when I'm working with Rehan Wala, Rehan always encourages me and gives me the confidence that you can do it.
Mashallah, mashallah. It's really good to know that you're very blessed with many inspirers and many
Yes.
mentors, including Rehan Lawal Sahab. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. That's really awesome to know. So moving towards your educational and professional development. So what had inspired you to build a strong academic and professional foundation?
Basically, I did my master's in English literature, right? And when I was when I asked my father that I wanted to work, basically I wanted to be in hotel management, or you'll be. I don't know how will you take it, but I was so young, a little girl, and though I traveled a lot abroad, and aeroplanes, and I used to watch these air hostesses. They used to dress up very nice. They were crisp and clean and very, they used to observe manners with all the passengers on the flights, and I used to get inspired by them. And there was this little Gulsana who wanted to become an air hostess. But actually, then in the later years, I realized that it wasn't the air hostess. What I wanted out of my education and out of my professionalism was mannerism, decency, and I think these are the two things that really shaped my. And then the professional ethics. With my friends, with my family members, I do sometimes get aggressive. But when I'm at work, I'm very professional. And I think this is the comment I received. It was a very common comment that I received, that you're the coolest boss. You know how to keep your wits. So yes, I did my master's in English literature, and when I joined the school, I gradually became the literature teacher because my subject, my education, was very close to my heart, and English literature actually was aligning with my belief system. I believed in one thing, that your education should not be about rote learning. It should be about life skills. And literature was something which was basically supporting that belief system. And when I started teaching literature, I think it was then that I learned a lot about character building, mental well being. I learned about the mannerisms of life. I learned about the professionalism. I learned about the life skills basically. So I think my education was very much aligned to my professionalism. And there came a time that when since literature basically made me an analyst, a critic, and I am most of the time, looking at things in a very negative manner. And people think it's negative. But when you talk to a literary person, they will tell you that this is not negativity. This is analysis. This is the critique that she's giving. Because in successful societies, the critics and the reformers and the analysts, they play a very important role in shaping their generations. So my professionalism was all about life skills and life ethics and mannerism, and yeah.
All right, so thank you so much for telling us about that. It's truly honorable to know that from an educationist like you, because my mom is also an educationist. So hopefully she'll also learn from tips from you to improve.
All right, thank you.
All right, no problem. So how did your education influence your career path?
I just told you that my education was my master's degree was in literature, and ultimately I turned out to be an English literature teacher, and then the head of the department again English. So I think languages. I used to get fascinated by languages so easily. One of my friends. Her father was a pilot in one of the airlines, and many a times he would travel to India. And when he used to be on his flight to India, he brought back some magazines, and these magazines were written in Hindi. And do you know, now I can write Hindi, I can read Hindi, only because
MashaAllah.
I learned out of those magazines. I learned to read and write Hindi. And English, of course, was my first language, I'll call it, because I was 3.5 when I got admission in St. Mary's Convent, Malta. And my facilitators were, of course, Sister Dorica and Sister Maria. And that was the first language we were ever taught, and then Arabic. So I think I have this close intimacy or love for languages. I love learning new languages. I knew Arabic at one time, English at the same time. Then, of course, when we came back to Pakistan, we had to, of course, learn Urdu. And then Hindi, and I tried learning Chinese actually once, but there I was a failure. But yes, my language learning basically affected my career, that I chose to be a language teacher.
All right, so that's really empowering and really wonderful to know. So, as you mentioned earlier, that you wanted to be an air hostess by seeing all of the air hostesses wearing nice clothes and flying all the time. So, was that an accident that it turned you from your dream from becoming a air hostess into a educationist, or did life take you somewhere unexpectedly?
Oh, Hamza, it's a hard reality. In societies like Pakistan, females have to compromise, and females have to give up on many of their wishes and desires. And actually, I wanted to be, when I grew up, I wanted to be into hotel management. Uh, and why air hostess was, of course, I was in love with traveling from a very young age. So both my wishes had a background within me because I wanted to travel a lot. So I thought that if I'll become an air hostess, apart from the fact that yes, the decency, the mannerism was also very attractive to me, but yes, the major thing that I wanted to. So I thought I'll be on flights, I'll be on different destinations every single day of my life, or every alternate days of my life. And when it became to hotel management, yes, the five-star hotels really used to fascinate me, and the kind of facilities they offer to the clients. So I think, yes, that these were the two things that really. But coming back to your question, that was it an accident? No, it was not an accident. It was a decision taken for me, because the kind of decisions I wanted to take for myself, I was not allowed to. Due to the family constraints, due to the societal constraints, I could not opt for the professions I wanted to. And then I'm a born artist. I've not learned to paint, but I paint. I did not learn to sing from a professional ustad, but still I sang throughout my educational career. In my school, I was the best singer, I was the best player, I was the best athlete, I was the best drama artist, I was the, in all extracurricular
MashaAllah.
curricular activities, you name it. But yeah, I was a backbencher when it used to come to, academics. Somehow books could never fascinate me. But uh, unfortunately, or now I say fortunately, I think the forced decision that was taken for me turned out to be really beneficial, because this really helped this profession of being an educationist actually turned me into an educationist. An educationist is not somebody who's teaching a particular subject in a school, in a college, or a university. No. But an educationist is somebody who knows, who can differentiate between the rights and wrongs of life, who knows that we must always, when it comes to make choices, we must always choose harder rights over easier wrongs. So, an educationist is somebody who's not only grooming her or himself, but helping the community around to bring in the reforms which can help the society grow mentally, grow professionally, grow ethically, and become an ideal society. But yes, I feel I'm those one of those unfortunate educationists who have not been able to bring in the difference I actually wanted to bring, because the education system is nothing less than a business industry now. So the things that but yeah, I played my role. I'm happy that I contributed whenever I was in the classrooms, in the campuses, and in the offices. I was trying to groom the people around me, by teaching them the life skills and professional ethics and life ethics. Yeah.
All right, that's really like mind blowing to know that this type of stuff happened to you. It's really sad to hear that you
Yeah.
couldn't make your
Yeah.
own decisions due to the constraints, but Alhamdulillah, that one fixed decision brought you somewhere in life. So hopefully, it will grow and grow.
Yeah, and now I'm happy. Hamza, actually, earlier I used to really feel unhappy, but now when I look at myself, I'm in love with myself. If you ask me, who are you inspired by? So I don't know how people will take this about me when I'm talking about this on screen. But yeah, I'm inspired from my own self. I love my honesty. I love my truthfulness. I love my sincerity and loyalty towards people, towards my profession. And but the hard reality is, in spite of all these traits that I have, people somehow disregard you sometimes, and that really burns my heart and breaks my heart. And then I just cry with my head tucked into my pillow. But then, yeah, I just look at myself and I feel, oh my God, wow, Gulsana Mansha, you're wonderful. And then
MashaAllah,
I
mashallah.
feel good. I feel good. I get all the energy from myself. From myself.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
myself.
That's
Simple.
really great to know that you get energy from yourself rather than from any family member. That you know that you are the Gulsana, which that's Miss Gulsana, which you are today,
Yeah.
is like making you happy and all of that keep making you blessed. So now I would
Yeah.
like to ask you, if you had a chance to say one word to your younger self, what would it be and why?
Um, Stick to your decisions.
And any specific reason?
I think you should take your decisions before decisions are taken for you. You should not surrender. I don't know, this is children might be watching, how would they take it? Even if your parents are a hindrance in your decision making, you need to communicate with them. You need to basically voice yourself. I think when my parents stopped me, the mistake was not on my parents' side. It was, of course, me who was making this mistake, that I immediately said yes. I wish I had learned to say no in a very respectful manner, of course. And when you're saying no, it's not that you are going blunt with your parents. It means that you need to communicate, open up with your communications with any relations you're in. Once you stop communicating, the problems pile up. Problems get solved only when you are talking to the people around you, when you're trying to convey your point of view. And you know what, when my father, just a few months before my father's death, I was talking to him, I was sitting beside him, he was very sick. And he apologized. He says, I'm so sorry. In spite of the fact I gave you freedom for so many things, but for one thing that I stopped you was whatever you wanted to become, I just didn't allow you. And actually, I was expecting that you will voice yourself, because I want my daughter Gulsana Mansha to voice herself wherever she believes she's right. So, to my younger self, if life is given to me one more time, I would say, Gulsana Mansha, stick to your, voice and speak it out. Speak it out. Try to convince your elders for what you wanted to do.
All right, that's really inspiring to know. और अल्लाह आपके father की मगफिरत फरमाए. तो now since you have mentioned that you are in the stage of podcasting and you do some interviews, so who is that one celebrity or one of your favorite persons or anyone in the world you would like to interview and why?
It's a very difficult question, Hamza, actually. And you will be surprised to know. Um, whom I would like to interview. Oh, I didn't think of it. I wish मैंने इस सवाल को पहले पढ़ लिया होता. I wish I had read your questions before coming to it.
No
This is a very
issues.
difficult question. This is a very difficult question because, Hamza, why? There's a reason. Uh, there are hardly moments that I get inspired by people. It's very difficult. I don't know what it is because somehow I I'm a very difficult person when it comes to inspirations. And I need to understand. Again, I think the flaw is within me because I need to understand nobody can be perfect, right? So one human, I think the president of America, I would,
Any
I would love to because actually, if I take one name, that would be Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, and the second person would be which is not possible now. That is Shakespeare.
oh,
Because my inspiration, if I got inspired by one author, because I was a literature student and a literature teacher, what Shakespeare writes, he's matchless. So Shakespeare would be somebody. I'm a huge fan. I'm a hugest fan.
challenge, mashallah, mashallah. So, since you mentioned that you're a huge fan of Shakespeare, so what do you think about his books? What do you think about what he writes? Do you think that all of the best authors in the world, like Roald Dahl or Jeff Kinney, can they match his specific
Yeah.
narrative, or it's absolutely matchless?
Okay, Hamza, no, he is, of course, all authors have these traits, but the way Shakespeare actually, during my graduation and during my master's, drama was a separate subject that I studied. And in drama, there were three, four authors, but Shakespeare, what inspired me was that Shakespeare basically talk about or writes about, and his analysis, his readings, his observations about human behaviors. Oh my God, mind blowing, mind blowing. The kind of human behaviors, how human behaviors have been defined in Quran Majid. Sometimes I used to assume that he must have read Quran because his understanding of human psychology, human brains, human behaviors, it was amazing. And he would like scan the character through his character, the way he used to uh, weave his characters. Like I still can name Lady Macbeth, then Macbeth, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet. So all kinds of human emotions. He had a very strong grip, and the life lessons he wanted to teach. I think today's in 2025, if one author I would recommend must be a part of, whether through AI, that is Shakespeare. You teach Shakespeare, but if you just have to read the play and write the summary, please, please, I don't want that. But being a literature teacher, I never opened up books into my classrooms. Do you know that? You'll be surprised to know. I
Wow.
never opened the books. And without opening the book, I used to come prepared in the class. I would analyze the characters. I would analyze the real life situations Shakespeare would talk about. That he created, that he wove actually into the book. And all those situations, all those characters were the real life characters. They were not fantasy characters. No, it had nothing to do with imaginations and fairy tales and no, 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 no. So realism was one thing, that made him mind blowing. And his observations on human behaviors and human psychology and human mannerism and ethics. And yeah,
All right, that's great. That's really mind blowing and really empowering to know that you're such a huge fan of Shakespeare. But after getting to know about your like love for his writing, I can feel you are one of the top fans of him. So with that,
yes.
we wrap up our session, and thank you so much, Miss Gulsana, for giving your precious time for coming on Wired and Inspired. Lastly, if you'd like to give any advice to my viewers so they could start working on it or implement it and take it as a tip.
All right, Hamza, the very important lesson is please be honest. First of all, you need to be honest to your own self, okay? Because if you're not honest and loyal to your own self, you cannot spread goodness around you. So, loyalty, sincerity with yourself, with the work you are doing, with the people around you, I think that's the key to success, whether you're in a
MashaAllah.
profession or wherever. Yes.
Yes, thank you so much for your wonderful advice. Hopefully, our viewers would take it as a tip and take it as a motivational tip. So, yes, everyone, she was our wonderful guest, Miss Gulsana Mansha, and I had also learned a lot about her, a lot about our expertise as well as off expertise, like extracurricular curricular things. So, thank you so much, Miss Gulsana, for giving your precious time and joining us. And this was my Wired and Inspired podcast for today. I'll see you with another one. Till then, stay wired to be inspired. Allah Hafiz.